Again, mandatory sign in, sign out. We have 2 representatives from the energy industry. I try to pick things that are outside of what we might normally have in our toolbox when we advise kids in these specific pathways. And so we are going to hear from Rex Peckins. He's a line worker, program coordinator, and instructor from Lansing Community College. In my work as a career counselor, I often don't hear a lot of those types of programs. So I thought it'd be really great to hear about what they're doing in Lansing Community College and how these could be opportunities for our students. And then we have Miss Martin and Miss Harris. They're representing DTE, and they're going to talk about all the great career opportunities in energy, and specifically about the powerhouse that DTE is in our state as an employer in the careers in energy realm. As a reminder, myself and my partner Shannon Williams at Macomb ISD have created this career readiness website for you all. The intent is that you have an opportunity to have a toolbox, a one-stop shop as you're working with students, and you're able to reference it quickly. So it's MacombEngage.org. We encourage you from all over the state to use it, not just those in Macomb County, because a lot of the information that I put on there is helpful for all of you when any of the work that you're doing. On this website, when you go to the career development area, you will see a drop down. It'll have the career spotlight series videos attached. I put the links to all the different resources our presenters give you. I also have the slide deck on there for you all for quick reference. And then we also have a lot of different one-pagers for you to access with your students and print them in nice colored form, and then you can hand them out to your students as you are really going into that major post-secondary planning season, we call it, from February to end of May for your seniors. It's crunch time. So hopefully you're using this website. Hopefully you find it useful. If you have any additions you want to put up on there, resources, I'm always about trying to give you all a very concise area to go to be able to provide career readiness opportunities for your students. So with that said, I'm excited to welcome our 2 guests today. And we have first on tap is Rex. So I'd like to welcome Rex from Lansing Community College and hand you off the screen, Rex. Yep, no worries, you're muted. I can see your finger up though, so it's okay.
Well, good morning. Can you hear me now? All set?
Yep.
Beautiful. Like the introduction, my name is Rex Peckins. I was the coordinator of utility line work here at Lansing Community College. Very proud of that position. We do a great job. We feel like we do a great job for our students, and it's just it's a great opportunity to watch people come in and change their career path, and just it's a program. It's an area that changes generations. And before I've got some slides here to show you, but before I do that, one little story that I have that I'm very proud of is this young man who came in, and his mom didn't want him to come in. His mom didn't want him to come into the program. He was making $15 an hour, and his parents were just ecstatic. There's nobody in our family who's ever made that kind of $15 an hour. And they were very angry with him for coming to the program. Well, he went to the program, and he's now working for Consumers Energy, and he's making $10,000 a month, so at least. So it's really that's a generational change that his kids will benefit from. So I'm really proud of that situation. So I'm going to show you some slides of our program, or of our facility. And oops, there. Hang on, not the techno guy. Share my screen, right? I'm going to share that one right there. Okay. All right. So this is Lansing Community College, West Campus. We are out on the west side of town. Our building is all skilled trades. Okay. We have a building here that all it is skilled trades, And we are separated from the other campus. And this is our building. Easy parking. No, you don't have to pay for parking. That's one of the big things. You don't have to pay for parking. So they call us the Wild Wild West, apparently. I don't understand why. This building's about a dozen years old. And we house everything in here from, oh golly, we got Police and Fire Academy, we have machining, we have robotics, we have welding, electrical, HVAC. Seems like you name it, we got it. This is which one am I sharing here? Let's see. This is the screen I'm sharing. This is the inside of our building, going down the hallway. This is actually taken right outside my office suite. There is, you know what, I'm not rocket science here, so I gotta figure out how to stop this. This is our electrical department. This is our main electrical lab. It looks better now because we refinished and got new cabinets, but this is our main lab in which students do most of their electrical theory class. In our electrical line work program, it's a 13-month program. They come to us, they go through climbing early in August, and then they take some of their electrical theory classes. And if you can see over here on the right or on the left, there's a simulation of the top of a utility pole with some transformers over here. They take their electrical theory class in the first semester. They do more climbing. And then we finish up the following summer with a climb school. And our climb school is, well, there's our fitness lab. Before we get into climb school, fitness is huge for us. We find that students who do not attack fitness, who are not in shape, are going to fail. They're just going to fail. So we require a lot of fitness from them. And
Rex, sorry to interrupt. Your slides aren't advancing, your photos.
Which one am I looking at? All right.
We're still looking at the hallway. So
you're still looking at the hallway?
Yeah.
On my screen, it says I'm doing something different. So
I've had that where my PowerPoint will just jam up
All
like
right.
that. So sometimes unshare and reshare.
That's all right. This is better for me anyway.
Okay.
All right. So
there we go. Yep.
That's our electrical lab. Maybe back up a little bit. This is our electrical lab. We have 4 electrical labs. This is the main one. At the other end here, we have a classroom, and we have an island there with instructors who are always there to help a student when they want to come in and do extra work and open lab type of concept. We have that often. This is a view from our atrium down to the other end of the building. I put this in here because it's really a beautiful building. We really are lucky to have it. Our fitness lab, by the way, thanks, Sarah, for pointing that out. I didn't want to go half an hour without it. This is our fitness lab, and as I said, fitness is hugely important to our program because we find that if they're not in shape, they fail. And we ask them to attack their fitness class and be in the best possible shape they can be in. And then our success rate goes way up. So the student who comes in and believes that I'm in good enough shape, that's not going to happen. And really, some of our people come in and they relish it because our best students are, to be honest with you, our best students are between 25 and 35 years old because they've come to us. They've realized that $15 an hour is not going to make it in life. The attention to detail is much better. We require an attention to detail because can be dangerous if you don't pay attention. Safety is huge because they probably have a family at home. So this fitness is huge for our program. This is our cafeteria where we're just starting to get it back open. You notice we have all the social distancing going on there. Here's our line. Here's our pole yard. And if you can see what I got going on here, you don't notice it, but I've got 2 classes going on. Over here in this guy right here, he's brand new, or this kid right here. This guy's brand new. His first step in becoming a lineman in our program is to come to this metal pole, climb this metal pole, see if heights are an issue for him, perform a task where he has to let go of the pole, and then go back down. This will identify a bunch of people who are afraid of heights. And that's and we want to do that early so they aren't sinking a whole bunch of money in, right? These people out here are finishing. So this is in early June, probably. These people on the poles were at this metal pole the year before. So these guys are in climb school. And what we do in climb school is we take all their electrical theory, we take all their electrical climbing ability, we put it together, and they simulate what a lineman does for 9 weeks in the summertime, 8 to 4:30 every day. And we have 5 linemen, the retired linemen that are our instructors. And we have 5 trucks, we have bobcats, we bring in a trencher, and so on. So they simulate what a lineman does. All of these poles were put in by students. All the lines that you would see here are put in by students. They're energized at the end so they can see if there's anything wrong, and then they put up PPE and fix it if there is. Whoops, there. These are 2 of our guys. The stat up top, 80%. In 2019, COVID's kind of messed us up, so it's a little, I haven't gotten the 21s up here yet. But in 2019, the LCC line worker graduates hired nationwide with an average starting wage of $29 an hour. Now, that is pulled down a little bit, 80% hiring rate. That is if they go out and get the job. I tell my people, and you can tell them, if they want to be a lineman, they've got to be ready to move to where the job is. If they think it's going to fall into their backyard, they're going to have a problem, and they may wait a while. These 2 guys, this gentleman is one of my instructors, retired lineman for Consumers Energy. These 2 guys went through our program, and then they decided they wanted to give Consumers Energy a try. So now this guy works at the Bronson headquarters for Consumers Energy, and this guy works at the Traverse City headquarters for Consumers Energy. So Consumers Energy is our corporate partner. We're very excited and happy about that. We do have a little bit of a pipeline going to DTE, and I hope to expand that because they are a fantastic company also. But normally the starting wage is out of date. First year or the first day on the job at Consumers Energy, first day is they're going to make $40 an hour, right? And at DTE, they're probably going to make about 36 or 37. This is pulled down to 29 because there are some utility companies that don't start them out as high as that, like AEP, American Electric Power down in Ohio and Indiana. They don't start them out at the same level at Consumers, but it's still, they give them bonuses and bumps periodically. So the first day out of the job, somebody's going to make, at Consumers, somebody's going to make $40 an hour. This young man also went through our program, obviously, and he's now at the Lansing headquarters for Consumers Energy. This gentleman here is a retired line worker instructor for Lansing Board of Water and Light. Fantastic guy, missed his calling, should have been a teacher, but wouldn't have made the money, obviously. But LCC Bennett, our instructors, we have 5 instructors, and they all have 30 plus years of experience. So they're getting a lot of years of experience. And I think one of the keys to that is, yeah, they have 30 years experience. They have 30 years of safe experience. They weren't hurt. They weren't hurt on the job. They followed rules. They followed protocols and so on and so on. We're big into following details, never cutting corners, and things will be okay. We're very happy that Ditch Witch and Vermeer now bring us a trencher that our guys can use for some underground stuff to work underground. We don't do a lot of underground, but we are moving into it because DTE does a lot of underground stuff. you know, you don't see downtown Detroit with a bunch of power lines overhead. They're all underground. So we're getting into underground training for our people. They get training in aerial lift, bucket trucks, digger derrick, which drills the holes for the poles, ditch witch, and a skid loader. These two gentlemen, interesting, these two gentlemen up here in this bucket truck, they both work for Consumers Now, but they started their career out in Oklahoma. They got hired over the phone to a contractor out in Oklahoma. They went out there and spent 3 weeks and came back because the company was not following the safety protocols that they were taught. So they didn't want to get hurt. So they came back and now they all work for Consumers. Pretty proud of that because they could have stayed and fallen in with the unsafe practices, but they chose not to. And I'm pretty proud of them for that. Good guys. Now, what we have at LCC we call our success coaches. These people their whole job is to make life easier for kids. You know, I have my students and I have a gal who's specifically linked to the line worker program, and she gets phone calls all summer long from new students saying, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Well, how can I do this? You know, whatever. And these success coaches here at LCC are driven, you know, their charge is to help these students succeed by answering all these questions. And some of them are, you know, some of them can be a little bit goofy, as you all know from students, but they're there to help them, and they do a great job. They do a great job with it. Now, then I'm going to talk about this, but then I'm going to get into the actual application process of our program. This would be a link to LCC, and if anybody wanted, I could certainly get it to them for all of our services. Now you're going to take a look at my card. Now I've moved. I was the coordinator of trades of utility line work, and now I'm the director of trade technology. So now instead of being in charge of just line work, I'm in charge of, I don't know, auto and construction and HVAC and electrical and line work and architecture and civil technology and a few other things. But I'm always going to keep my hand in the line work program, always, because that's kind of what I like. I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to look for a document that shows you our process. Okay. While I'm doing that, does anybody please ask me some questions? Certainly don't want to drone on if you have questions.
Rex, do you have people come from, I assume, around the state, because you do have that unique offering? I know Henry Ford College in Dearborn offers some power line work, but is there housing, or where do students do when they're coming from a different area?
It's a great question. We do not have housing, but our success coaches have, I don't know, connections to different apartment complexes and such. So while we don't offer formal housing, we do have some people who know of places to go. That's kind of as best I can give you. But yeah, we do feel that we get people from all over the state. The neat thing about LCC, where I'm sure everybody does it actually, is, you know, if they're in district, they're going to come in paying out of district tuition, and we all know that. But if they can move into the district, if they're in district for 4 months, then they get in district tuition. So what we encourage them to do is come in July, and you're going to pay, you know, in district tuition. And then if you're living with an aunt, an uncle, and you can, or an apartment or whatever, by January, second semester, and Klein School, which is an expensive area, you're going to pay in district tuition, which is much cheaper, right? I try not to encourage them to move in the spring to get all in district, because you know, I accept probably well, since COVID, we accept about 80 people into a program, right? And there's about a 50% attrition rate. So I'm going to lose 50% of them simply because their heights are an issue for the most part, and they aren't comfortable. And I don't want somebody coming in, spending a lot of money on a bunch of classes, and then the first day they get on a pole, they realize it's not for them. And what am I going to do with all the money? So when they ask me about that, because they're all gung ho to start classes, and I warn them about that. I said, listen, I don't really, just be careful, you know. So I usually direct them to a couple classes that can be used in other pathways if they don't want to do line work. And we do their first line worker class or climbing class is in late July, so that they find out that's not for them. They can get out and not, you know, they'll be out $400 or $500 instead of thousands, right? Here is, I'm going to share this one. Okay. Okay, hopefully right now you see his program schedule. Beautiful. This is for 2022, and I like color coding, so you're going to see it all. For your students, for students that you know of that are interested, the first thing they have to do for LCC is come to an information session. It's a 2-hour meeting, and we've been doing it virtually for the last couple of years. We used to do it in person, but they have to attend one of these meetings in order to get an application to the program. So these meetings, and you'll see these meetings are next week, 22nd, 3rd, 4th of February, and March 1st and 2nd. They're from 6 to 8 p.m. You can certainly direct them to me if somebody's interested, and we can get them on a list. And you know, there's an Eventbrite thing where they go in and sign up for a day. But they have to come to this to listen to this kind of spiel. And then at the end, if they want an application, I send one to them. If they don't come to this, then these information sessions, then they're not going to be in the program this year. So that is the first step. And I encourage you, if you know of people that are interested, certainly have them contact me, and we'll get them taken care of and the information so they can sign up for an information session. Okay. So that's first step. Then they get their applications. The applications will be due on April 4th. Notifications will be on April 11th of who gets in and who didn't get in. That's starting the new class. The old class, these will be open climbing dates for my current class. Fridays from 10 o'clock to 2 p.m. They go out and climb all they want. So these are just open climbing dates. Climb school. You remember we talking about climb school, in which they come and they simulate what a lineman does for 9 weeks. This is where that is. It starts May 16th. It makes up 3 different classes. So the first class is May 16th through the June 3rd. Then there's a second class, and then here's the third class, and they finish on the July 15th, right? So that's finishing up a class. All right. Now we shift back to the new people that were accepted on April 11th. Their first climb day opportunities are these black ones. 2-day class, all through here. Okay, and like I said, we take 80, we'll put 12 in a class, and that will satisfy all their opportunities. So then we go to September, and academics, obviously class starts. And they're in their academics, but they're going to have open climbing dates. These are all open climbing dates for them. Okay. These dates are the second climb class that they have, in which they have testing going on. Right. In November, just before Thanksgiving, we do interviews. We do mock interviews for them on these 2 days. Right. And then that takes us to the end of the term. And then the following term, we move on to other stuff. Really, they've got a lot of their academics done in the first semester. They will have a lot of their academics done in the first semester. Okay, let me share one more thing. Please ask me questions if you have them. So you should have on your screen summer semester, fall semester, spring semester. Beautiful. These are the classes they're going to take. Okay. In the summer semester, I encourage them, just don't worry, just take your summer climb class. This is the first climbing class, is pole climb 1. I'll explain this blue thing in a minute. And then you've got practical electricity 1 and 2, which is actually 110. Employee worksite basics, soft skills. We have a class with soft skills. We teach them what they have. We teach them knots in that class. We teach them, we go over what's called a CAST test, a certification, or what is it, a mechanical aptitude test that they have to pass to go to DTE. They have to pass to go to AEP. They have to pass a version of it to go to consumers. So we teach that during this class, as well as interview skills and so on. In EIF, in Energy Industry Fundamentals, this is the thing that's connected with the Michigan Energy Workforce Development Corporation Consortium, WDC. 102 is electrical safety. They get an OSHA card. They get their OSHA 30 card. And basic electric calculations, math class. Fitness class, some more climbing. And then next semester, they have prints and diagrams, some fitness, some orientation, some practice pole climbing. Over here is when those classes are offered. Okay. Summer, fall, spring. So those are when those classes, and I give this to the students so they have an idea. The blue is something I put in there because we don't publish these classes that are in blue, because I don't want some philosophy major downtown looking at pole climbing going, hey, that looks like a fun class, I'm going to take that, so we reserve that for just our line workers, so we don't really so it's just a line worker class, so I really don't advertise it to other people, so that's a good thing. More questions, please. We have gone through a recent, let's see, open the chat. Maybe somebody's got something in there. Oh, it looks like there's 9 of them.
We will hand off to DTE, and then people can populate questions to you, Rex, privately in the chat if you can stay on, or I can get them off to you.
Let's get, in a second. We'll talk about cost. Okay. We've just gone through some revamping of some moving around some course skills and some skills and such, or some course fees. And in-district tuition is going to be about is about $9,000. Out of district is going to be about $15,000. And we serve companies, obviously consumers. DTE, which is I think I send 5 people down there for a 5-day climb here next week. AEP out of Indiana and Ohio, and all the way down to Texas. Contractors up north, I've got 5 or 6 guys who work for MJ Electric, which is a company that builds transmission lines out of Iron Mountain. So we send people. I've got one guy hanging from helicopters in Minnesota, and so we've got them spaced around. So we're pretty proud of our people, and I want people. Here's the mantra that you can use for people. I want the people who, when it's mid-January at 11 o'clock at night in a snowstorm and my 90-year-old mother is out of power, I want somebody coming to her door making her feel safe and like it's going to be okay. That's the guy or gal that I want. Mm-hmm. And it's really, those are the people that I want. As good on their 14th hour as they are on their first hour. So And I don't make any bones about it when I tell them that either. So, okay. I'm here for questions if you have them. So Sarah, if you've got other people you want to have more spicy things to say, that'd be great.
Well, I just want to honor the time of our other presenters and introduce them from DT. And then I always hold the Zoom open past the 9:30 in case anyone wants to connect. So Alicia, welcome. And if you'd like to just take over. Thanks, Rex, so much. That was a great program.
Sure. Thank you, Rex.
You bet.
Okay, let me just do my sharing here. Oop. Okay, everyone can see my screen okay, and I hope it's advancing.
We can see it.
Okay, good. All right, welcome. As she said, my name is Elisa Harris. I work in human resources at DTE. I am the manager of employment strategies. On the call with me as a backup is Alea Martin. So sometimes we have some technical difficulties, so we start to do backups. So Alea Martin is on the line, and she is knowledgeable about a lot of the things that I'm saying as well. So, okay, so to start off, we have a lot of careers at DTE Energy. We have careers where the college degree is not required, that you see on the left, and then you see careers where the college degree is required. And this is just a sampling of some of the careers that we have. The point in here in all of this, and I think Rex made it very clear as well, is that these are all very lucrative and rewarding careers. So degree or not degree, still very lucrative, also very rewarding careers. I'm going to show you a video. Okay, so as you can see, there were a lot of different careers highlighted in that video. I also mentioned some others, but I'm going to move on to those positions that do not require a college degree. And so I want to talk specifically about skilled trades. Although we have customer service that doesn't require a college degree, I'm also talking about skilled trades here. So in our trades, again, we've got this Venn diagram basically showing that the journeyman positions where experience is required, some of our positions you have to come in as a tradesman. So you've already got your experience, you're already a journeyman, and there's some different positions that are available to you. Then on the right, what you'll see is in the yellow area is entry-level positions that are offered. So when it comes to field maintenance workers, service technicians, maintenance gas fitters, linemen that Rex just talked about, power and electrical relay technicians. Those are entry-level positions, and we offer apprenticeships on most of these positions. And so he also mentioned that he has some coming in from Lansing into DTE, and they are going into the apprenticeship position, if I've got that right, or they're testing for the apprenticeship position maybe. So let's talk about what the energy utility wages look like. And I think, again, I'm going to keep referencing Rex because the wages are very good. And so what you're seeing here is national average. This is from the United States Department of Energy. And so the wages, are reflecting a national average, right? So that's combining all different types of utility companies. But you see it's $25.60, the median hourly wage versus $19.14 for the national median hourly wage. Then over on the right, when it comes to, and so that's just energy workers. Now on the right, you see what's called energy utility employees, right? So the energy utility employees, right? And as it says here, the utilities industry supports the highest hourly wage of all industries compared to the national median. And so that's why sometimes if you talk to some people at DTE, they're almost like people who found religion, right? Because they just cannot believe what they walked into, and sometimes these great paying jobs, these very lucrative positions that are very rewarding. And so often you'll see them trying to get other people to come into the industry along with them. So what does the workforce look like, right? So in the last 3 years, right, the size of the workforce basically remains consistent. The energy industry is composed of 3 types of utilities, of which there's over 600,000 employees. There's investor-owned, those companies like DTE, consumers, investor-owned companies. There's public power companies, and there's rural electric cooperatives. So sometimes you'll hear some of the companies like Lansing Board of Water and Light, right? It's operated by the municipality. So you'll see a lot of different types of utilities, okay? And the utilities basically comprise about 10% of the energy industry's 6 million employees. So who's in the utilities workforce? And this is really different because this has changed quite a bit since I've been in utilities. So I am 60 plus, right? I'm in my 60s. And when I first came to DTE a little over 15 years ago, most people there, a lot of people there were around my age, okay? But they had been there, right? I came 15 years ago and they had been there for over 20 years. And so they had retirement packages and all those other great things. And so now most of the people my age who started at DTE at very young age are gone. They left, they retired, and they have pensions. And as a result, what's happened is the workforce has changed quite a bit. And DTE, a lot of utility companies were in the same boat, and they were saying, hey, our workforce is retiring, our workforce is retiring. All these baby boomers are retiring. So we need more people. And we did an all-out effort to get people. And now you see some of the results here that, we have a really good mix of the generations here. So what are the expected jobs in the Michigan energy sector? For electric power generation, transmission, distribution, and storage? You'll see some information here in terms of what the growth may be over the next 12 months and actually number of jobs. Now, you hear us mention DTE and consumers quite often, and you've heard us mention some others as well. But the fact is there's over 60 utility companies in in Michigan. Hold on, just 1 second. I've got a singer going on in my home. Hold on a sec. Please. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So here you see gas providers, electricity providers. Sometimes there's an overlap. DTE, we provide gas and electricity. Depending on what area you're in, you may see like DTE is here in the blue or the turquoise looking blue color. And so in some cases, you may see there may be a combination of, a single provider provides both gas and electricity. The point is, there are 66 different places within Michigan for employment opportunities, as well as contract companies as well. DTE outsources a lot of work as well. So there are people who work for some of the suppliers, for DTE. So contracts. So I also want to let you know about an entry, some entry points into DTE, because sometimes it's difficult to get into those lineman positions that Rex spoke of, or some of these other positions. Sometimes it's difficult to get into those positions. So people come different ways, right? They will come through customer service, right? And we are hiring right now for customer resolution specialists, right? Anyone could apply now. They will work from home. We are going to have this application up. We're hiring a lot of customer service people from all over the state because they will be working from home, and we provide the equipment for them. And if you have some graduating seniors who have 2 years of customer contact experience, the actual job is, we're hiring through August. Right, so we've got a lot of people we're hiring through August. So even if they've worked at Target or McDonald's or something like that, they really need to show that they've had customer contact experience on their resume, and they're very, very likely to, to be tested. And if they are successful in the test, they will likely get an interview. Also, if you have some who may have an associate's degree, so maybe they have earned an associate degree as they're going through school. It only requires 1 year of experience with an associate's degree. Another entry point into DTE is through the line clearance tree trim. So you may have heard that that many companies are investing a lot into tree trim, right? Because tree trim helps prevent trimming the trees, help prevent those causes of power going out when there's a storm, right? Because the trees hit the lines fall down, and therefore we have power outages. So tree trim is a big deal, and there's a lot of investment in tree trim. The thing about it is DTE does not hire tree trimmers directly. Tree trimmers work for contractors. They work for contracting tree companies, right? And so there is a tree trim apprenticeship that requires no experience. They can sign up at the local, at IBEW Local 17. So very specifically, IBEW is the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. There's different locals. Local 17 is the one that they would want to sign up at. And I believe it's in Southfield. Local 17, I believe, is in Southfield. And here's a short video to tell you a little bit about that tree trim profession.
Well, no day is ever the same. You might be going up to do some brush chipping or some light trimming, or you could pull up to a job and have a big, huge tree that's a huge project to take down with a lot of roping and rigging over the power lines.
As an apprentice, I climb the trees, I drop everything down safely, I grab the brush and chip it.
Line clearance is a great trade to get into in which you can make a good living at. We're currently trying to attract high school students interested in joining an outstanding apprentice program.
While I'm up in the trees, I get an adrenaline rush. I get butterflies. Safety precautions up there keep me totally safe, so I'm not worried about any hazards. I have to remember that it's a job and I'm not just having fun. It's just exhilarating and it's awesome.
We all work together as a team, so that builds camaraderie between us. It's probably the best place to be if you want to be a tree trimmer.
Okay, and so you see that was a combination of the IBEW and DTE. Go back for a second. And the requirements for that position flashed up there really quickly. And it is a minimum high school diploma or equivalent, have a driver's license, be able to pass a drug test. And you know, you can't be afraid of heights. Now, another entry point. So we did talk about positions that require college degrees. And so we really like students. In fact, we hire, we have at least, 800 students at DTE in any given year. Some of them are, have rolled over from year after year, and some of them are coming in new. But we really, for the most part, we have two different types of college student positions. We have college co-op positions. That, in fact, Alea Martin, who is backing me up today, who's also on the line, she's a college co-op. She is working her way through school. She's wants to work in human resources when she finishes her degree. And so she's actually working in human resources right now, gaining good experience. She's working in our workforce development area. She's going to do some recruiting functions, and she'll get the opportunity to work in to get really good experience in human resources. And so that will give her an advantage in securing a permanent position either at DTE or if she decides to go someplace else. So for those positions, students should apply one semester in advance. They should use the keyword of co-op to search, just search co-op, and the co-op opportunities will come up in Southeast Michigan, and also there's some in Greater Michigan. We also have a summer college student program. Now, in most cases, we try to put a person with their major in that summer college program, but not always. So it can be related to the major, but not always. In that case, they want to search summer, right? Use the keyword search of summer. And then they have to apply for these jobs in November through February. Now we're in February 15th right now. If they were to apply now, most of the jobs are gone, but this is good information for next year, okay? These jobs typically start in May through June and they end in September or August. It works in accordance with the student schedule. I also should say those college co-op positions, the hours can vary as well in those college co-ops, the ones that I mentioned earlier. So as long as they can work 16 hours per week, they can work their way through school, go to school and go to work at the same time. So how can you find out more information? Well, there's something that we do called Career Awareness Week. So every Careers and Energy Week is what we call it. So every year in October, third week in October, there's Careers and Energy Week. And in fact, I believe that's where Sarah met us during Careers and Energy Week. And so we do a lot of targeted awareness for those who are going to be ready soon. So if you see in the little diagram, we do, for adults who are ready for work. We also talk to those who are in schools. So if your school is interested in participating in Careers and Energy Week, you can shoot an email. Also, I have the same thing here with a QR code. If you want to hold your phones up to this QR code, go into your camera mode, hover over the QR code, and then a link will display. So you're not taking a picture, you're just hovering over that QR code that you see there. A link will appear and you can click on that link and just fill out a little short questionnaire. For those who want to just do it right now, it's there for you. Okay. I saw something on TV where they were ordering food at a restaurant, and it was like, you have to order, you go here, right? And so the lady, it was an older lady, of course, and she like put her mouth up to the QR code to speak to it, right? So not the way you do it. I thought that was pretty funny.
That is funny.
Okay. All right. So some potential resources for you. There are some short descriptive videos if you want. So you can talk to your students about careers in energy and they'll be like, I have no idea what you're talking about, right? And so the videos that I showed you they were about 1 minute and 30 seconds long, something like that. Not very long. And these are some of the different positions that we have. And these are some very short descriptive videos that someone can take a look at and get an idea of the type of work. It's called discoverskilltrades.com. You can go directly to discoverskilltrades.com, or you can go to our careers website at DTE. It's called careers.dtenergy.com. And then search for, look for something that relates to field positions. Go under careers, look for field positions, and you'll find this video and more information about our field positions. Also, nationally, you can go to getintooenergy.jobs. So some of the information that I showed you on a national level earlier in the presentation, I got that from CEWD, which is Center for Energy Workforce Development. They have a site called getintooenergy.jobs. DTE sends their jobs there. Consumers, a whole lot of companies send their jobs there. And so this is a single source for jobs in the energy company. Multiple companies, different providers, multiple locations. You can search for energy jobs all over the United States if you want, or you can narrow your search to Michigan. So in this one, yesterday I put this together and narrowed the search to Michigan, and there's 296 jobs that display based on whatever my criteria was. And as you can see, it's got DT Energy, InfraSource, American Electric Power, and there will be a lot of different companies there. Also at dtenergy.com, and I'm going to back up a minute, not to make you seasick, but this one is dtenergy.jobs, right? So the .jobs, at one time there was this big .jobs initiative trying to make, .jobs like something like that, .com. But in this case, when it comes to getintooenergy.jobs, you can find the jobs. On this regular one, getintooenergy.com, there is a training locator. And this is a single source for training providers for energy careers. As you can see, there's a map that shows you where some of the different places are, and then you'll get a listing of it as well. And I have an appendix here, and in this appendix, and my file was actually too big to send, so I had to break up the appendix. But in this appendix, really what happened is when we had Careers in Energy Week, we invited some of those schools that I've shown you here to come and speak about their energy careers. And Rex was a part of it. And so these are the ones that we had up there. As you can see, Lansing Community College was there, and all of these here, and they've got videos that tell about their different programs. And you can find this slide deck, you can find it on, I have to get the name of it. It's the MUDIC website, which is MEWDC. It's careers, it's Get Into Energy Michigan. I'll have to get the name of it. I apologize for that. But
At Henry Ford College, our pre-apprenticeship program support individuals interested in going.
And so these are all different videos from some of the different colleges or different information. Okay. And that is all that I have. I will stop sharing now. Hope my time was okay.
Yeah, oh, you both were great. Thank you so much. In our region in Macomb County, we don't have Macomb doesn't necessarily offer those types of programs, but we know there's employment available in our region. We just, so we appreciate having both of you on. We do have a few questions. I'm gonna do my housekeeping items as time comes to a close for everybody here. The sign out link is in the chat. You have to wait till 9:30 or later to sign out. So I can submit that to MDE. Again, I will have this video recording with the links to Rex's program and the great information Alicia shared. And I also have her slide deck that will be on the macombengage.org website. And so I'm going to go ahead and allow you the liberty to ask questions. I will jump really quick. I had one for Alicia regarding any co-op opportunities for current high school students, or is co-op designated for after high school?
Most of the co-ops, I'm going to use co-ops in quotation marks, those are for after high school. Now there's student interns. We do have some, but we work with some specific schools. We have some in Macomb, some schools from Macomb, but typically they are from an organization that we're working with, like DAPSEP, if you've ever heard of DAPSEP, robotics, those types of things. We recruit through there. So they're very specific and it's very limited.
Great. Anybody else want to feel comfortable unmuting and ask any follow-up questions to either of our presenters?
I do see one that says, are there opportunities? Well, I'm sorry, what is the website for the customer resolution specialist application? It is careers.dteenergy.com. No, that's not true. It's careers.dteenergy.com. Yep, so it's on our career website. If you just go to our DTE Energy website and go down to search careers, you'll find it. You can type in a keyword of resolution or customer or something like that. The name is spelled a little quirky this time because they put remote out there, like remote work, but you can search and find it.
Awesome. Now, Shannon Williams had a question regarding the program in Lansing Community College about whether or not there's a wait list. Rex, when you say that you have 150 applicants and generally 80 get in, what does that screening process then look like? I know you have matriculation, but.
Well, what it does, it's really all about if they can fill out the application process. You know, it's very meticulous in what we're asking. It's not rocket science what we're asking for, but they have to be complete in their answers or else we won't accept it. So really, it's a matter of, were they on time for the meeting? Did they stay for the entire meeting? And did they, because we monitor that. And did they fill out the application completely? And you know, there are certain things that'll put them over the edge. I mean, that would not put them over the edge, will help if they're a tweener. I mean, if there's somebody that we're going, I don't know, if they have any experience getting their hands dirty, doing work with their hands, that's going to be a good thing. If they have a CDL, it's fantastic. But overall, if they are on time and they stay for the whole meeting and they fill out the application properly, they're probably going to get a shot.
Great. All right, everybody, it's 9:30. We have the attendance link is in the chat for you all. Please feel comfortable staying on though if you have any follow-up questions. And again, all of this will be available to you to use in your classrooms with your students. I'm very grateful, Rex, for your time today. It's nice to get outside of our county and see about all the other amazing programs available in the state of Michigan. And Alicia, we're so grateful for your knowledge and your work and dedication to promoting these different careers. And
I'm just really flattered to be here, and I really appreciate you reaching out and asking me.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I participated in Careers in Energy, and I saw Rex and Alicia, and I thought, you know, we need to bring these folks into our community and share the great work that you all do to help further this career. So with that said, it's nice to see you all again. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully your week goes fast for you all and you stay warm. Take care.
Thank you. And that website I did put in the chat is careersinenergymichigan.com. Sorry about that.
Great, no problem.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.